Good evening, everyone. This is BB Davis of 1021 Magazine, and I am exceptionally late. So I do apologize, but there was a lot of yang going on, some technical difficulties behind the scenes, but now we got a little bit more yin vibes happening. So welcome, everyone, to the live stream. This is Livestream with chat. You're at the official 1021 Magazine official YouTube, and I am BB Davis, publisher and founder of 1021 Magazine, celebrating 18 years as a digital full-feature lifestyle magazine. I am the only remaining pioneer of the digital pioneer years, still publishing, so I'm very, very blessed for that, and very blessed with the subscribers here on YouTube, all our followers throughout the years, covering so many people, being at so many events, and just living the dream. So it's good to have you here on a beautiful Friday, depending on where you're at, or if we're smooth sailing into Saturday. It's just good to be alive with everything that we have going on in the universe, with the pandemic, with our own personal vibrations, things that we consume in our conscious and subconscious. It's just good to still be here in these resilient vibrations. So welcome to the live stream. Now, I do have some information before we get started with late brunch with me, BB, as we're going to be talking about the verses from last Sunday, which was the face-off between Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give some updates here and just let everyone know that the online presence, we're still in revamp mode. So if we don't do the full featured, full scope look for 2020, then we will have a presence up, but definitely the beginning of 2021 we will have everything aligned. So I just want to let everyone know that I am the first woman of color, the first person period to ever create a full-featured digital lifestyles magazine. And back in the day, people were just like, it's crazy, that's not going to work, nobody's going to be doing digital magazines. And I was first business based out of the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. And now today you have a multitude of digital lifestyle magazines. So I always feel good when I see that thriving. So I just wanted to give this little inspiration before we get into the live stream, that no matter what anyone says, like me 18 years ago, no digital magazine lifestyle would thrive. Never listen to dream killers. Always believe in your visions, and when it's your passions, see it through. If the outcome is great, if the outcome is not great, see it through. because these are our gifts of intuition, your purpose-driven life, your passions. And so I wanted to get that word into everyone, and that leads right into the live stream. This live stream, we're talking about the verses with Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, epicness, and I think it's great for the culture. I think it really set the tone, whereas the tone may have been getting off a little bit, but still, it's great for exactly what we are facing now. Many of us, we are phenomenal supporters of music, of artists. Many of us have been affected because that's what you do for a living. An artist, not only do you record, not only do you write, not only do you produce, but you perform. And with COVID and the pandemic, many people are not performing. So then we have this verses where the people, the streets, the masses, they're talking and they're saying, we would like to see these people paired up together. We would like to see these people paired up together. And it somehow works. The vibe is set. Everything is just what you want in a quarantine life, and now you have it. Some of your faves right there, and then you get the backstories of how certain music came to be, and it's just a beautiful thing. What I loved especially about this particular verse is coming off of the previous verses with Brandy and Monica, is that this really set that tone and how to carry yourself. The longevity, the wisdom. In any genre that you're in, it is automatic that you will have some type of competition, but not in the realms where it's going to make you go in a lower vibration. And I was so glad that through all of the commentary that many of us on the media professional reporting side sees, that it was addressed, and it was addressed eloquently by both ladies. And when Lady Gladys said, Brandy and Monica, work it out, there was no question there, because there was like really no working out. It was very awkward to a certain point. So I'm glad that that was stated. I still say, unless Versus says something different, like in a Versus, that doesn't mean that someone is not great. You have the greatness there. That means when you're head to head, beat drops, your set drops, whoever performs and rises above another, that's the Versus. Everyone wins is for the culture, but when you talk about a versus is still a versus. Who elevated a little bit more in the moment? And for 1021, we all were not lopsided. Nobody was refuting on this particular versus. Gladys Knight reigns supreme. So we're going to talk about that, and what better way to do it than having a good old late brunch. So that's what it is, because it is like midnight on the East Coast. So this is like super late, but breakfast for a lot of us can just be so acceptable at any time. So just like the promos, I loved the promos that Apple Music did with Versus. I thought that was very setting the tone nicely. Here we get ready to go inside. It's like the behind the scenes. It was shot beautifully. Whoever did the production of it, it was beautiful the way everything was captured. Just enough, not overdone, not overproduced, just absolutely nice work. So bravo to the whole team with that. So in the promos, we got to see two legends, two icons in their element of what on a Sunday? Divas? In their mansions, nice aerial views. Lady Patti LaBelle walking down the staircase with her dog, her precious doggy, her fur. Grandiose. Beautiful kitchens. I'm a kitchen lover. Making up the soul food Sunday dinner. Pulling out her patty pie. And then doing the diva move. What are you bringing, Gladys? Then the promo for Gladys night. Start singing Midnight Train to Georgia. Classic. Flexing with the Grammy. Beautiful kitchen. Making banana pudding. That nice banana glaze that she put at the end. Nice talking, just like you're in the kitchen with a nice auntie, grandmother, godmother. Perfect promo. Then you had in the set, the DJ was on fire. One time for the DJ with the old school music. Really got everything going. But in a versus, in a battle, you have to be on preparedness. And everybody's going to use their own thing on why they thought this person won, or why that person won, or why this, or why that, and that is your choice. But at the end of the day, with versus, it is one reigns supreme at that moment. Okay, so the sets were great. We're talking about women in their 7th decades of life. Things change, and that's just a part of life. Your voice, it could be the memory. You have some young people who forget the words of their songs. I mean, it's just a different type of vibe. But I do feel like with Patti LaBelle, they should have had those teleprompters there. They should have had all of that. Everything should have been taken in consideration, especially if she wasn't on, as far as the lyrics to her songs and stuff like that. So that should have been, you know, with the team, should have had that all worked out. But it is what you call something that has not been fully done before, this whole methodology of bringing the verses to us. So everyone's in this as we go. Let's just get this better and better, and it has. A lot of us, even the media reporting professionals like myself, we're looking for this full straight on voice, hitting those high notes. This is just where the fandom part comes in. But then you get right back into reality that, hey, our beloveds are not in their 70s. Some notes may not be hit as high as others, and so that's just that. But I love the props that Patti brought. She brought the stilettos, her pumps, the trunks, the mirror. These are many things that people put on the stage when they are performing. It is what their fans are used to. It introduces you to who they are. if you're not a fan, because there were a lot of young generations that were able to come in and witness such great legends that they heard their aunties, their mothers, grandmothers, you know, rock to, jam to, family cookouts. I mean, just anything. And it really felt like a family reunion. It felt really good. And so I did love that through less lack of singing, which I thought we would have heard a lot more of the singing from the tracks and stuff like that. It just really brought a special vibration into the mix. And these ladies look good, you know, and just vibing with each other. This was just so not weird moment. This was very natural. This was very chilled, and I loved the whole sister girl vibe of both Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle. I just thought that that was just straight amazing and beautiful. I love the fact that there were some FYIs that each one didn't know. You know, I'm a music historian, so I'm always trying to be on the one when it comes to the different artists. And so these are my turmeric eggs with loads of garlic in them and other ingredients. I love that. You know, when Gladys said she's been performing since 4, I mean, when you look at her history, you know, she was out there on the scenes for a very long time. Even before her brothers and cousins joined her, the Pips. So she's been that reigning young entertainer that's seen a lot more than, say, when others came into their stardom, maybe as young teenagers or something like that. You know, 4, and at the age she is now in the 7th decade, that's a long time. And there's a different type of panache there in that kind of being. I have a beautiful golden breasted chicken here. And the chicken breast is really good because it's not dried out. I love that Gladys brought the tracks and just sang. She was completely giving us an entire concert. And she was singing those songs through and through. And sounded good. And both the ladies looked good. It was a pantsuit session for the ages. I love a good pantsuit. Absolutely. I'll never bring them. I'm dipping into my Creole curry Creole. Lentil soup. It's curry chicken lentil soup. And these are yellow lentils, so it's so good. Now you can either put that over a bed of rice if you want to, but I'm trying to stay away from the rice. So just my beautiful garlic scrambled eggs, a beautiful golden breast of chicken, and a Creole inspired curry soup. And this beautiful bread here, this is rosemary bread in a ramekin. Just a beautiful, nice dusting of rosemary. Cornbread with the soup, so it's so good. I love the backstory where they talked about their children being on the road, traveling, tour buses. There are lots of stories to tell about that. Some good, some bad, some ugly, but the friendship, the honest to goodness compliments, the admiration, unforced. They set the tone. To really show there's room for everyone. There's room for you to bring your contributions, your love and light to the world without always being so catty, without we as women always have to feel like we're in this so competition with each other, you know? Like, for example, what glaringly really bothered me with Brandy and Monica was when they played the Wait and Exhale soundtrack that Brandy was a part of, and Monica was like, I wish I didn't get the call. And then, you know, Babyface spoke to that, and he was just like, you know, trying to low-key play it. But she didn't get the call. But I just felt like she shouldn't have said it. So then when you look at this moment of Verzuz with Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, Gladys, she did a set of her song from the James Bond movie, A License to Kill was the song. You didn't hear Patti say, I didn't get a call for that. I should have got a call for that. They should have called me for the Bond song. Like, it's just whatever, you know. You have to learn to be gracious. And in your gracious, you never know what other opportunities may come up. But if you're still looking kind of salty and everything, you may not have any opportunities to come up because they'll be like, well, has this person really matured? Have they changed? So it's all about evolving. So I did love that. I love the diva moment of Patti LaBelle saying, hey now. Celine made my song, but this is my song. You gotta love a diva moment. She was serious on that though. This is so good. I did this just right. I love when Gladys was backing up Patti in the songs doing the background. That was so nice, you know? Energy was just flowing effortlessly. You're talking about decades of performing, decades of love, your children growing up, going from young women, now older women, now grandmothers. Seeing others appreciate you. The digital age, which they've moved very beautifully through. I can see on a worldwide scale of how they're so appreciated on a worldwide scope, because you have all this beautiful messages of love, of how much you appreciate it, how much you've touched someone, and they really have. And they blessed us, many of us, with such a classy vibration. So a lot of people watch the verses. People were watching with their parents. Excuse me, the food has come out of my mouth. I watched with my mother. My friends would watch with their mothers, aunties. Some had a beautiful Sunday dinner party together with friends cooking their favorite dishes to just enjoy the night. Over 3 million views. That's a beautiful thing for verses. That's a beautiful thing for music. That's a beautiful thing for culture. It's a beautiful thing for artists. And then when Dionne, when they were playing That's What Friends Are For, I couldn't hardly get it out of my mouth. I was in the chat. And I was like, that'd be great if Dionne was there. And then when she came on the stage, it's just like everybody lost it. Just another powerful legend, icon. Her career is just stellar. Great writing, an international audience. I always say, like, that song Alfie. It's a beautiful song. She owns it. A lot of people have recorded it. Even her cousin, the voice, Whitney Houston, covered Alfie, and seriously, she demolished it. It was a turn down. Ooh. but she tried. That's all Dionne right there, because there's a certain nuance that you need for that song. And some songs are just some people's songs, you know. It's just their song, no matter how much anybody pulls it off. And then some people can take people's songs too and be like, I'm taking your song. But when she came on the stage, I mean, I love looking at her old concerts, Dionne's, the flawless gowns. Oh my God, the hair is hooked. Audience is diverse, and she's like on fire, just straight beautiful. And she definitely represented, you know, in a beautiful way, and in a beautiful crossover way as well for Black Girl Magic. So, you know, that is a legend who is loved and adored with the diversity of fans all over the world. And for them to be on stage together for the verses, it was just outstanding. And I just love the no pretense vibe. You know, Dionne was like, I'm about to go put back on my jeans. And it was just great. I look at some of Dionne's performances, and if you look at some of Whitney's performances, you can just see a lot of influence there. And, you know, just a very talented lady. Her song Deja Vu has always been very smooth, always just been very great. When I was young, when it came out, I just played it to death. Listening for it on the radio is just mind blown. All three, you know, great cuts coming from Gladys Knight, from the Claudine movie soundtrack with James Earl Jones and the late Diane Carroll. Great movie. Beautiful love songs. Patti LaBelle's You Are My Friend. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I mean, just beautiful, timeless songs from all of them. You could just sit there and just play. But it was great for the culture. Great for the times that we're in. It took your mind off so many things. I hope that it did for a lot of people. I know for me it took my mind off some things. And you really just was in the moment. And there were just good times. And then the beautiful shot that they are showing where the two are walking, Gladys and Patti, behind the scenes together. I think that photo is on Gladys's Instagram page, and it is so bittersweet, beautiful. Friendships, unity, giving so much to us. Because music is healing. It unifies. It brings perspective to a lot of things. It cradles you from where you were to where you are now, propelling you many times to where you're going. And it's a beautiful thing. I love that after the verses, when you go over to Swizz Beatz and Timberland's page and they talk about it, how they brought things together. I mean, it's just, everything's just so cohesively, beautifully done. And I am so happy to witness it like many others. I will say, as the verses continues. Very excited about who's next. It would be great to add in other different genres of music and artists. It could be more diverse, not just people of color. It would be so great if it could just continue to be larger. Do a verses with, you know, people in jazz, in bluegrass, in country, in rock, you know, in pop, you know, in opera, in theater. I mean, you could just go leaps and bounds on this, you know, make it even more inclusive. And then that would be really, really great. It would definitely be great for the culture. It would be great for music. It would be great for artists, because people do have to get back to living, making living, making ends meet, providing for themselves. And that is one part of the industry, just like right up there with acting, where some things are on a halt because of the COVID. How do we progress on through something that has almost like really given a hit? You know, a lot of times we forget that these artists, they have bills, and this is their way of life, this is their life living. That means things have changed. So how do we move in a progressive state where these artists can get back to making their money and entertaining us and all of that, you know? These are things to think on. While they're trying to figure it out, how to keep us all safe. Because we're still in the unknown. I was telling someone, I was just like, the people who have had and been affected with COVID, just because, say, you've overcame it, doesn't mean that it may not come back. They could be even more deadly to someone else because they have it. We know some things about this disease. We know that people are still having lingering effects. Does those lingering effects keep you from killing someone else unintentionally? Or are you still in a moment of you could still be taken out, because we don't know anything? So it is a lot that we don't know. It is a lot of high tensions. It's a lot of everything that's happening. Black Lives Matters, voting coming up. With this verses, it gives you a little of an escape, but also it's a beautiful segue into what is the next steps that this can do to propel artists to get back to getting some of their income, get back to some type of normalcy while we still figure these things out and want to keep ourselves safe. So kudos to Versus, kudos to Apple Music, kudos to the artists who come in a very vulnerable way in this pandemic. It is always appreciated. And we look forward to the next wave of who goes head to head. I'm going to throw in some music here. But we look forward to seeing what's going to be the next groove, the next vibration. And I would like to see a lot more diversity. I think that would be really cool. This late brunch has been everything. my savory has been satisfied. So my sweet tooth has some little toast points of jelly. But I think I'm going to go for a nice sorbet. It was wonderful seeing these women come together, give the roses to the legends while they're alive. And they truly blessed us. And I look forward to more. I look forward to doing more commentary. And let's just see how this evolves. I really hope that there's going to be more inclusion, more diversity in this Verzuz. Because music is healing. So love and light, everyone. This has been just a real chill. Just having a conversation about going hype on the reaction. We'll have a lot more highlights coming. So you make sure you stay tuned. And if there is anything that you would like to see from the Verzuz, I'm very sure that they're all open for that. Just to see what will be happening with the Verzuz and taking your feedback and all that. Because it's really important, I think, for them to see what the masses want, what the people want, and then just kind of go from there. Because it's always good to, you know, catch that vibe of response. How are you feeling it? Who would you like to be paired up? And then see if the artists will pair up for that. And then just kind of go from there. And then you have another epic night. And it's good for not only the artists, it's good for the streams, which helps their revenue. So it's a good thing. Well, I'm going to share. Oh. I'm going to my chill. My lovely Creole curry, lentil soup with chicken. Took about 7-8 hours. Slow. My cornbread with rosemary and ramekin. Fresh rosemary. Took about 30 minutes tops. My garlic scrambled eggs, lickety split, no time. No time. So it's always good when you can bring music, food, conversation together and just do the recap. So I am looking forward to the next Verzuz and the next moments for all of us as we get through these moments. And just know that we're not alone and that we're all in this together. Make sure you exercise your right to vote. I love that those ladies were very conscious in saying that as well. And be good to yourself. Continue in quarantine. Do your social distancing. Stay safe as much as possible because you have one life. And this is the life that we have here on this earth, on this side of life. So you want to make sure that you do what you can to keep your life as stress-free, as healthy, as more yin than yang as possible. And that is a good thing. to keep it more positive than not. I think for 2020, it has just shown us a lot of self-reflection. It has shown us resiliency. It has shown that you never had any time to waste anyway. So, use the time of your life always wisely. Never let anything be in the midst that will bring you to a lower ebb. There's no time for that. It's time for you to make memories, to be about your purpose-driven life, and to know that life is fleeting. And while you're here, be about your purpose and be more of a positive realm. And never let anyone, take you out of your character. And rise above occasions. Of course, many times you do have to let people know. But for the most part, it is about nonsensical things. Move that along, and you, in your vibe, just be about the things that matter in this life. I'm Bebé Davis. Thanks so much for locking in. I'm finished with my chill here. Now it's time for some sweetness. And we will have more coverage to come. Thanks to 1021 Media Group for doing a lot of the coverage on the back ends. They make my life so much easier. And we really appreciate you all for the love, again, over the years and all of that. So it is much appreciated. Look forward to the next verses. I thought this was a straight winner. It just showed so much for the masses, for up-and-coming artists, and for artists who are already there. And so the roses have been given, and we hope, many of us, that we have given those roses back, because they have just given so much joy to a lot of us over the years, and to the people that we love over the years who may be here and some who may not be here. And it's just always a thankful moment. As the universe turns round and around, make sure you're part of that forward, positive movement. So anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to do my chill down. Some more toast points. And let the night just take me away. Thanks for locking in on Bebé Davis, 1021 Magazine, where the model is limitless and timeless. And come on back for some more recaps and more media moments. You can find 1021 not only on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we will have the presence for the official full feature lifestyle magazine up before 2021. And if we don't have the full scope up by the end of 2020, there will be a presence, and then the full scope will be for 2021. All right, everybody. Peace and love. And have yourself an outstanding, positive weekend.